This is the Run Recap.
Okay. What's up?
All right, so there might be some noise because I'm just on the side of a road here, and it's hot
It's
out,
all
so my
good.
window's down. But anyway, okay, but I had to give a quick thing. So last podcast we were talking about stretching, and
Yeah.
then this weekend, then I actually did some stretching before running. So like I
Oh,
never
wow.
ever do, but I was
Okay.
on the track. I did a 2 mile warm up, which I never warm up, and then I thought, I should at least stretch the calves out because it's probably a really good idea, right? And I think for the run, it was a great idea. Can you
Okay.
imagine what's been hurting really bad ever since that darn run?
Well, your calves are probably
My
killing you, huh?
my calves are killing me. Like, why the heck did I stretch? I need those things tight so they'll rebound and keep me going. I loosen them all up, and now my calves don't work right anymore.
Oh man, that's yeah, a little bit of a catch 22. You know what'll help that is just doing it more consistently.
People say things like that. You're like, okay, so you ruined your calves. You know what's going to help your calves? Ruin them more. So,
You know, that's
anyway,
that's one approach, I guess. That's
I'm
one
not
one
I'm not
school of
sure I'm
thought, I
buying it.
suppose.
The logic is not on your side in this one. You might have experience, but we are lacking logic right here, right now.
Well, so what's interesting that there actually is someone that I used to follow a lot more of a fitness guy who actually does not believe in stretching.
Uh-huh.
He actually believes in like, you know, moving and working out, but not working on his mobility at all. Which
Sure.
is I think it's a little short sighted, but some people, some people think that's the way to go. So you're not alone in this philosophy that you
Sure.
shouldn't do it.
Well, in all fairness, I don't think this is real philosophy, but it is hilarious that the one time I actually do it is the one time that then it's like, a terrible time
Yeah.
recovering. And my ankles and
Yeah,
everything just feel
well,
weird.
yeah, well, and it does make sense. Like you're
Sure.
not used to stretching it out, and so it's not. You don't want to stretch a muscle before hard exertion. You want to activate a muscle. So doing toe hops and some calf raises and tibialis activation. So some walking on the heels and that kind of thing. Like that's what you want to do. You don't want to stretch. You want to stretch after.
Okay, so okay. My favorite calf stretch that I've just been doing forever, you put your foot on a curb and you lean forward, right? Oh, did we lose you? Did I lose me?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Don't yeah, basically don't do that.
Don't do that before running.
You got me?
I can hear you just fine. I see a bunch of things saying reconnecting. But I can hear you and see you.
Okay, there we go.
There we
We should
go.
be good. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Um,
So
yeah, basically don't do that.
I love to put my foot on a curb before a run. It's not abnormal to do it before a race, but that's probably the only time. But
Yeah.
don't do that before running.
Just don't hold it for very long. I mean, you like I'll go into those stretches, but it's more like a oh, you go up until you feel the stretch and then you back off.
Okay. So is there a time when
Yeah.
I should do that stretch?
Yeah, after.
Okay. Got it. Because I literally never stretch after. Like that is not a thing I ever think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would only do it. I would only do it after. Don't stretch right before. You want to do again. You want to do like calf raises and heel walks and toe walks and that kind of stuff, but not a prolonged stretch.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'll modify and I'll keep testing it out. I'm not going to just say that stretching is stupid forever for everybody now. I'm going to test this out before I really come to that. But thanks for joining my this episode of What Grinds My Gears.
I appreciate it. In other news, what I'm about to do is a variation of the interval that you did last week. I'm going to do 3 miles. I think 3 miles, doing uh, 0.4 mile intervals with tenth of a mile jogs, and I'm trying to
Okay.
stay under 5:45 or better.
Oof. Yeah. Okay, how long
Yeah.
are you running for again?
So just 3 miles.
3 miles. And how long is your speed for though? How long are you holding 5:45 pace?
Oh, point four. So
Point 4.
so basically so the half a mile is so that way it's clean on everyone. So
Oof.
I'll do 6 of these.
Yeah, that's moving.
Yeah. So you might not see me for a while.
Right?
We'll see if I make it back.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna do
Right.
something similar. I'm gonna see how long. I'm gonna see if I can even hold 5:45 pace for very long sometime soon.
Yeah, well, that's also part of this.
Just because
We'll
if
see.
someone does something, then I'm always in too. So that's you made me excited
Right.
already.
Yeah,
I'm in.
and when I get out there, it might shift to quarters instead of
Right.
0.4. Nice. Hey, there you are.
Hey, there I am.
Gotcha. Okay, so I just finished.
Nice.
That was I went out too fast.
Okay, describe again what you just did.
So I was basically trying to do your 800 one that you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
So I did 3 miles. So I did 6 instead of 8.
Yep.
And
600 on,
4.
200 jog?
Yeah, but I'm just outside, not on
Sure.
So I just did 0.4 with the 10th of a mile jog.
Okay.
And that jog was a jog loosely.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end. It was like my feet are moving, walk going to be faster.
That is how I did it too. Yeah.
But I got a little hop going, right? So I'm gonna keep that going.
Yep.
And I did first one 5:34.
Uh-huh.
Second one 5:54.
Yep.
And then 6:7, 6:3, 6:11 was one of them, and then 5:50 something.
Our bodies like those low 6s, but below 6 is so rough, isn't it?
It was the first one. I'm like, man, this is not bad. I got this. And my watch doesn't tell me pace in real time very well, so I'm looking at it and I saw some 5:15s here and there.
Yeah.
And I saw some 5:45s, and I'm like, it's hard to know. And so I thought I was actually going to be lower for longer. I didn't think I was going to get up to the 6s that quick, but I was just dying at the end. It was just everything I had, just pushing my stride, elongating everything, doing every single step, trying to just drive that foot backwards, trying to lengthen, arms pumping hard. My breath was okay, here's an interesting thing I noticed about my breath. I always breathe in a 5-step cadence.
Sure. Yep. I was noticing the same thing with me too.
No matter how hard I'm breathing or my heart rate's going, it's a 5-step cadence.
Yep.
It's in for 3, out for 2, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of paying attention to that, because why not pay attention to that when you're dying and you feel like you want to stop every step? Why not pay attention to the nuances of your?
Gotta pay attention to something.
and so I was paying attention to that, and I'm like, oh, I wonder why I don't just breathe every other step, in step, out step, something like that. When I'm pushing that hard, it's go quick. I'm like, no, it feels terrible. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know the reasoning behind that type of thing, that type of feel or breathing cadence, but
sure.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing to feel like my breath is always that, no matter how fast or slow I'm running. I mean, unless I'm going really slow, but if I'm running at any pace, it's always a 5-step.
And if you're running slow, I guess so slow that 5 steps is just too long, right? You actually have to breathe a little quicker than that because the 5 steps take so long. If you're running really slow, that you might have to breathe a little more.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, I got a call. It interrupted for a second.
Oh, yeah, right. So anyway, that would make sense. Oh, so if you the 5-step cadence, if you're running slow enough, that's breathing so slow that you might not have enough air.
Right.
So it's not that your breathing picks up, it's that you're running so slow that you still just have to keep breathing. And so it ends up not being 5. But yeah, I've noticed I've been paying attention to that, and I'll get to 2.5 in and out. Mm-hmm. But that is ragged breathing once I hit there.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm right at that 5.5, which means then it alternates feet of when I'm breathing in and out, and sometimes one's in the middle, right? It's not. It has nothing to do with when a foot hits the ground. which is,
Yeah.
darn Jason getting this in my head. So now I wasn't even thinking about it. I never thought about where my breath hits for what foot or something like that. And then Jason has to bring
Yeah.
it up. He's like, I think I breathe left-footed. And then it like really bothered me. So that I've been thinking about that a bunch of my runs. It's just total distraction and, probably doesn't even matter, but you just get thinking about stuff. But
That is hilarious. I don't do any ands. I don't do any pickup breaths. I'm always on the foot.
really, mine has no rhyme or reason. My breathing sets into a rhythm and my feet
Yeah.
don't fit into the same rhythm. Or
Oh,
don't fit
funny.
into a rhythm. Well, I guess if it's flat and it's a road, I guess my feet definitely hit a rhythm. But outside of
Yeah.
that, it's constantly adjusting for up, down, and turning corners and all that. And the time I was really paying attention to it is on trail runs, which then your steps are all over the place. So there's no correlation on trails for me at all. But anyway, we all hit, there's like a rhythm to running that helps you run better when you stay on rhythm. You just get on beat.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the rhythm tends to be my breath, not my feet.
Well, but it sounds like you're doing like a five amp. So you're running your breath and you're doing a polyrhythm. So your breath and your feet are just cycling each other.
To a degree, until there's like a slight hill or a turn or anything like that, and then they don't line up again.
Yeah.
And then they catch back up another time or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I'd be willing to bet if we could measure it, I'd be willing to bet it hits a certain beat on the metronome most of the time.
Yeah.
More than it hits the beat going with my feet or whatever. So anyway, I have no idea.
The biggest thing I was thinking about while doing this run was I wish I had like a Neuralink type of a thing because I'll often narrate my run, especially if I'm thinking about this in any way, thinking about the podcast at all. I'll narrate my run of like what's happening, what I'm feeling in real time, and then
interesting.
It's never substantial, or I never. I did this before the podcast too. I would even narrate about just something I wanted to tell you about.
Okay.
About the run, but then like I never remembered the details of that point, of that moment. You know what I mean?
Man, it's its own thing to go into. What do you think about while you run? And it's so many of those things, like dreaming, that they're gone when you stop, right? And then some things hang on.
In a lot of ways.
But some things seem so profound and like you just fixed everything while you run. And then you stop and you realize, like, no, most of those things are stupid. Like, there's nothing profound about that. It felt profound because, lack of oxygen or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I'm excited to do it again because I think I can hit those 5:45s another time. I honestly thought I did most of them under 6, and so I'm kind of bummed out that I didn't do most of them under 6. It's moving.
Did you like the jogging? I found the jogging in between instead of stopping in between to be hard, but also way better. So it was harder, but it was so much easier to fall right into a rhythm again instead of the stop for a minute and now I gotta go from nothing. Where at least jogging extremely slow, like barely moving, was still way better. That was easier for me to keep up that pace and keep going.
No, absolutely, because the full rest, even the walking rest feels like you're done. It feels like we talked about before with like sprinting workouts, like the full recovery is like, okay, you're telling your body you're done for the day.
Right.
And then you have to go do it again. Versus, the jog in between is like, no, you're not done. This is your slow time. And then we're going to go fast again. Yeah, no, I much prefer the jog in between. As the last half were awful, and I wanted to stop with every step. And I wanted to, when the rest came, I wanted to stop and like dead stop and like walk through it. And like, not letting yourself do that was better than just stopping. But man, you wanted to.
If you could lock in that 5:45 for your first one, it probably would have gone a lot better.
For sure.
Because 5:30 is significantly faster.
It is. Well, and 5:34 was my my pace on average for that half mile, right? So meaning I was at 5:15, I was at 5:40, I was kind of all over the place, I'm sure. And so if I could lock that in, I was trying to slow it up, and it just wasn't happening.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, I like these quick little fast updates. They're fun.
It's like, I got this on my brain, I gotta talk. Let's go
Exactly.
talk.
It's good. and now I gotta go. So
All right, sounds good. I gotta run too.
All right. See ya.
See ya.